welcome, with a very warm applause, Madam President Yoza Osmani.
Good afternoon, everyone, respected guests, esteemed fellow speakers, dear organizers of the Swiss Economic Forum. Good afternoon once again. I'm truly pleased to be with you in this year's edition of the Swiss Economic Forum, which is rightfully considered as one of the most important and prestigious events that takes place here in Switzerland. Being here in Interlaken reminds me once again that Switzerland is indeed one of those countries that have come closest to finding the perfect formula for a life spent with great well-being and prosperity. Listed among the top 10 countries with the highest GDP per capita, as well as ranked among the world's best countries for citizens to live, Switzerland remains a role model for many countries around the world, and similarly so for the young Republic of Kosovo, which I have the honor to represent. Kosovo must be familiar to many of you. Some might have heard of it through the stories from a neighbor, your employees, or even your family members. Others might be doing business with a company in Kosovo, from one of your star Swiss Kosovar football players, and some of you might have even paid a visit to my country. In fact, parts of Kosovo and our culture are widely visible in the Swiss society, as Switzerland is now home to more than 200,000 citizens of Kosovar origin. To speak of Kosovo is to speak of a story of suffering, perseverance, belief, and immense hope. The past has been very tough. The present is challenging, but to all of us, our future is clear. The Republic of Kosovo belongs to the group of peace-loving countries that will constantly contribute to the project of sustainable peace in our region and beyond, and ultimately join the big European Union family. Kosovo, its institutions, and its people are overwhelmingly pro-European and pro-EU. Certainly, the economic and political reasons are important, but our devotion to the European project goes well beyond this. We all fundamentally believe and are committed to promoting what we know as European values. Europe is our home, and the membership in the EU would ultimately complete our journey as Europe's youngest country. We truly believe that the benefit goes both ways. With the membership of Kosovo and the Western Balkan countries, the European project will itself gain its missing puzzle and will eventually deliver on its original aim of securing lasting peace by further enhancing economic and political exchange across the entire continent. Indeed, these are times of great uncertainties, quick pace innovation, and ongoing geopolitical battles. While we might not be certain where all of us will end up, we know all too well where we all came from. And after the war in 1999, Kosovo had to start from scratch. Today, 22 years after the war, I can proudly say that the Republic of Kosovo has emerged as one of the most vibrant democracies in our region. We are aware that greater regional economic and political cooperation, greater cooperation on the green agenda, greater cultural, academic, and tourism exchange pave the way to European integration. But we will only be able to move on with truthful cooperation once the region thoroughly deals with the past. That is the precondition for sustainable peace. This is that very necessary milestone that would thereafter help the region focus on the development agenda. To this day, I consider this one of the biggest political challenges of the Western Balkans. Kosovo, ladies and gentlemen, is committed to delivering on reforms. We know that our success is the success of those who have stood by us in our darkest time as well. and we want to live up to their expectations, including our friends here in Switzerland, so we can also share and cherish our successes with our partners now in the best times. But most importantly, deliver for the people that we represent. Today, the whole world is challenged by a common enemy, so is Kosovo. Our economies are facing greater challenges, and on this note, I want to say the following. We will not be able to recover our economies fully and to seek for new horizons unless we fully recover our health. Witnessing a sharp increase of infections in Kosovo, here in Switzerland, and all around the world, we must understand the individual and collective role, as well as responsibility of each and every one of us in this fight with the virus, and in our attempts to revive our economies and to fully reclaim our livelihoods. To everyone here in Switzerland, to my fellow Kosovars who live here in Switzerland, to everyone in Kosovo, I say, please get vaccinated. Let's give ourselves a chance to build back better. As a post-conflict and developing country, Kosovo needs economic stability and wide-ranging investment. And there are many sectors with a high investment potential that foreign direct investors could benefit from. Given our high dependence on imports, it is precisely the target export-oriented investment that we are looking into. On top of increasing the export base through FDI, we aim to stimulate production, which would be utilized as a tool to soften high unemployment. We aim to contribute to human capital formation through supporting training and labor mobility, which would ultimately become a driver of new skill and knowledge acquisition among our labor force. And as we do so, our aim is to bring as many of you aboard, obviously. Dear participants, when you look at the Republic of Kosovo, you are looking at a country with the youngest population in Europe, with 70% of our population under 35 years of age. You are looking at a country with high availability of skilled and cost-effective labor. The gross monthly salary is 380 euros. You are looking at a country with 20,000 highly educated job seekers, out of which 8,000 graduates who enter the job market every year. You are looking at a country with low and extremely competitive taxes, a straightforward tax system, and a place where international accounting standards apply. You are looking at the country with a completely new legal infrastructure, which is proud to be fully in line with acquis communautaire and all other EU standards. You are looking at the country with an 89% internet penetration rate, ranked among top countries in the world. You are looking at the country with the highest concentration of German speakers, ranked immediately after Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. Thanks to its continuous efforts for improving doing business environments, Kosovo is identified as a top 10 reformer worldwide. Kosovo is also very impressively ranked in terms of economic freedoms as well. According to the Heritage Foundation 2021 Index of Economic Freedom, we're ranked 58 in a list of almost 200 countries. The Heritage Foundation has in particular recognized Kosovo's improvement in the judicial effectiveness, government integrity, labor, and trade freedom. And according to the World Bank, prior to COVID-19, Kosovo has had solid economic growth for more than 10 years, being of 4 countries to mark growth every year since the beginning of the global financial crisis back in 2008. And according to forecasts, we are even expecting a growth rate of 7.9 by the end of this year, which is, of course, highest in the region and beyond. Kosovo provides free market access to European Union through the Stabilization and Association Agreement signed with the European Union. the Balkan countries through the Central European Free Trade Agreement, and it also benefits duty-free treatment for different products under the generalized system of preferences. In summary, Kosovo sounds like your next ideal business opportunity. However, I am not here to paint a rosy picture. Rather, I am here to speak the words, the feelings, and the expectations of the people I represent. I am here to share our real story. When you heard of Kosovo, you probably heard of problems of the past too, including recent challenges with rule of law. And this is why in the parliamentary elections that took place this February, our people overwhelmingly voted for a platform focused on justice and jobs, knowing very well that justice and rule of law is a precondition for creating new jobs. Therefore, rule of law is at the forefront of our work, and the reforms in this sector are happening these months at a record pace. We understand that this is a precondition for sustainable economic development, as well as to attracting foreign direct investment. That is why we shall not give up in our efforts in this direction. Our people want a more equitable and just future, and the current institutions are committed to delivering precisely that. I started to get involved in politics very early, back 22 years ago, because it was the most natural thing to do right after the war, to help your country get built. I really wanted to help the other people in my country in this mission. But today I'm in politics because I want to see my country thrive and progress. I want to lead my country to new heights, and I'm convinced that the way to do so is by investing in human capital and by embracing sustainable and equitable development. More than ever, we understand that our decisions today will impact the lives of so many generations in the future. Facing a pandemic, we understand that economic growth and development should and must be centered on people's needs. It is therefore that the program of the new institutions in Kosovo is centered, as I mentioned, on rule of law and creation of new jobs. And it is our goal to invest in education, in the health sector, in gender equality, in green recovery, and in our youth, which comprises the vast majority of our population. This is the reason why we are working day and night to root out unmeritocratic behavior and ensure we present our country in the best possible way, so we create the necessary conditions to attract the right kind of investment both at home and abroad. As we strive to build forward better, we aim to do this in close coordination with the private sector, as well as domestic and international investors. In this journey, we aim for sustainable investment across all sectors, and in particular in the area of food industry, agriculture, the information and communication technology, where our youth is excelling, renewable energy, tourism, textile and industry, plastic industry, wood industry, as well as the metal industry. There's absolutely no reason to block Kosovo as the only country in the region and turn it into an isolated country in the Western Balkans. The facts listed earlier should suffice for everyone to give Kosovo and its people a fair shot. We are full of brilliant young minds, and we want to develop their potential in Kosovo. We need them in Kosovo, and we will work hard to make them prouder of their country by the day. Our youth remains our most precious resource. Our young men and women are genuinely talented, they are highly skilled, tech-savvy, and multilingual. They will make you feel at home and will help lead your company to new and remarkable successes. When they are given a chance, they never cease to amaze. Just look at your football team. So today, I want to urge you all to give them a chance. As we face a pandemic, one of the most posed questions remains: will we develop something new or stick to what we know? In line with this, and the theme of this edition of the Swiss Economic Forum, I invite you to open new horizons. I invite you to give Kosovo a chance, or at least come and visit so you can see how wonderful it is for yourself. Thank you.